Okay, so as promised, here's a quick report on the BCF, I think they call them Kayak Eco Stabilizers, the outriggers. As you can see, they're inflatable. Have a look at the other video, you'll get a bit more detail on it. But first opinions, or first impressions. I've been out here for about half an hour or so now, just testing them out. Definitely do their job. You lose some sort of manoeuvrability, which was expected. Now I know some people don't like rudders, and I did mention in the earlier video that I actually have a rudder on this kayak. And look, I think if you're going to add these, I'm not saying that you can't add them to a kayak that doesn't have a rudder, but you do lose the ability to perform some certain turning strokes, like like a long draw stroke, and back to the kayak. Obviously, if you're trying to reach out and far away, you end up coming in contact, as you can see, contact with the pontoon. So you do lose a little bit of that, but obviously you're probably not going to be doing a lot of those big manoeuvring strokes, like big wide turns like that. You still have pretty good room. You can see, I think this puddle's about a 220. I might grab a shorter 2 metre one perhaps, and that might assist in paddle. What I'm finding every now and then is I'm hitting this right one, I must have that situated a little bit further forward than I do the left one. But overall, look, very impressed. As you can see, they do their job. No hesitation in flapping around or sitting side saddle in the kayak and sort of leaning over. Feet are fairly deep in the water there. Not sure if you can see that. They seem to be holding well. The way I've got them set up is a little bit out of the water reach, so it's not until you actually lean over that way that they make contact. They sit in the water a little bit slightly, but only very lightly. They do obviously inhibit speed and progress, but still certainly not enough to stop you from putting them down and then paddling sort of a few k's to your destination. I think that would certainly be possible. And I think probably the big question, or at least I know what the big question was for me when I first fitted these, was can you stand up in it? And the answer to that question is yes, you most certainly can. And as you can see, I can stand up in that and jump around, and well, okay, maybe not jump around, but I think the biggest bit, you can see, sitting down fairly comfortably. That's not a problem at all. One of the biggest benefits I think of this is going to be able to jump up the back, sit on the back, have a fish from up here, give me a little bit better view. I've now fitted the rear rod holders, so I'd have to be careful where I've got those situated or what I'm doing with those at that point. As you can see, like there's, I could sit on the back, hang the legs over if I want, do pretty much everything. So, I guess they've served their purpose, which is, obviously to stabilise. No big surprises there. I was really curious to see if I could stand up, so I'm really happy with the fact that I can jump around. Biggest challenge though is actually getting them deployed, because obviously when you're at your, at least where you haven't got the stabilisers down, you're sort of leaning around, grabbing hold of these, undoing the screw, trying not to let the thing flop down to unbalance the kayak. So that's going to be a bit of a learning curve there. I'll report back if I come up with a technique or something that helps me do that. But for now, look, really impressed. We've had quite a lot of rain here in the last week and a half or something, so the water's very dirty. When I was just over that side there was a lot of rubbish in the water, including a piece of timber which had some nails in it, and a syringe, lovely enough. So these pontoons, being inflatable, will obviously be susceptible to puncture. They're a fairly solid sort of vinyl though, so unlikely that they're going to puncture, but they take a fairly hefty whack. But obviously, as far as the glue and the materials and stuff like that and the UV, we'll have to see how they go. Alright, well that's pretty much it. Really happy at this point. if I have anything more to report in the future as far as testing that with fishing etc. goes. I'll do that. So like I said, the rudder has definitely come into its own with these. You're not doing full strokes, but you're not doing too far away from a full stroke. Obviously just have to pull it up a little bit early. As you can see, minimal effort. I mean, the kayak's 4.5 metres long, so it does track fairly well and moves pretty well through the water. You'll hear every now and then I'll bump the rudder. Sorry, bump the rudder. Bump the pontoon like that there. But I'm only doing it ever so lightly, so I think if I get a shorter paddle, that'll make a big difference. I'll come back to you shortly and I'll actually give you a view of what it's like when I've actually got them up in the air, and you can see how chippy it is. It takes a little bit of focus to keep it upright once you've actually got the pontoons in their upright position. There's a little bit of a balance issue there, but nothing that a little bit of practice isn't going to resolve.